Coach, appreciate you sitting down with us after your game tonight. You guys had a good game tonight against Columbia. Came out in the first period. It was a little tight there at first. Seemed a little chippy. A couple of technical fouls to start the game.
The officials were not in the mood for anybody talking, and I think they got both teams early on. And Columbia came out on fire. Gladney hit, I think, 4 threes there early and staked them to a pretty good lead. And then he and Metz both got in a little foul trouble for them when they had to take them out. That hurt them a little bit, and it was 35-31, and then we went on a run right before the half to get it up to a double-digit lead at the half, and then came out with a great third quarter.
Right. You guys seem to pull away from that point, even as you mentioned earlier when we were talking, with Shaq hurting his, it appeared to be his right shoulder early in the game there in the second period. At that point, you still seem to pull away there as the game went along. What was your philosophy? Was it that you tried to force them to shoot from the outside? It seemed like you were forcing them a lot to the outside in the game.
We wanted to contest them a little better on the perimeter. We gave up too many uncontested ones out there because they're a very good shooting team, and we knew that coming in from playing the first time. We gave a few too many uncontested ones out there, and that's what made it a game for a while there. When Shaq went out, we've got a lot of other guys that can score, and I was very pleased that some guys just, Brandon Adams hit a lot of perimeter shots and ran the offense well, and Joby Glimp got to the bucket extremely well.
I was going to say, it looked like you had quite a bit of success from behind the arc tonight.
Yeah, we shot it decently, but I thought attacking it and getting, getting in transition and getting out and running, we're a little deeper than they were. I thought.
Yeah, it seemed to wear them down inside a little bit too. Seemed to crash the boards and kind of gain control.
That was the key there. Start at third quarter, like I say, the 6 offensive rebounds in the first 3 or 4 minutes with Trey Carson, getting 3 of them. And that was good to have guys, came off the bench. Right. When you needed to have it.
Right. Coach, you're early on in the season here. Can you kind of assess where your team is at this point, in your view?
We've still got a lot of work to go, especially defensively. We're not very sound defensively on a lot of things. But some of that's probably, you're talking 1 returning starter and only 2 guys that really were in the rotation last year with Brandon Adams and Shaq Roland. Some of the other guys were on varsity but weren't really in the rotation. So we're still pretty young. We're talking about 1 senior. So pretty young. We've got to get better, especially defensively. Right. Offensively, we've been decently consistent.
Right. I was talking with Shaq earlier. He mentioned the youth of the team, but he also mentioned that that didn't really affect what your goals were this year. And he pointed up on the board in your locker room. There it is, region, state. Is that something you really push your guys to do, is to kind of set goals for themselves?
Very high expectations. After being a state runner-up last year, I think we were preseason number 2 in the poll, despite graduating 7 seniors.
Right.
So I think that's just part of our program. We've been to like 7 Final Fours and been to 5 state championship games, and so the expectations are just kind of there to to perform at that level, whether it's realistic or not. But then you got a very competitive group that wants to live up to that standard.
Coach, you've been here a few years now.
Yeah, 24.
Do you feel like you've really established your system, and these players that come into your system now kind of have an expectation of what you expect?
Yeah, not so much the system as far as what we run, but the standard of excellence. Because this team is really a good bit different from what we've been in past years. This is a more up tempo, higher scoring team. Right. There's a lot more in transition and up and down because that's what that suits our personnel. But the expectations of excellence and being your best and putting forth your best effort and achieving a high level, that part, I think they come from middle school up expecting that.
Coach, I was watching your intensity during the game. You seem to be a coach that needs to be up and up and walking around, talking to his players a lot. I've got to ask you about the towel. What's the towel for you?
I've had it for 24 years. It keeps, first of all, it keeps me from getting a chipped tooth because I did get you into grit and bite. It also is handy to bite on when I've got something that I don't really need to say, but I kind of want to say. Kind of keeps me out of trouble there a little bit. When I was an assistant at the college level, I had a clipboard in my hands, and that kept me occupied. But if I don't have something in my hands or to keep me occupied there, I'd chew my fingers off or bite down on something. So the towel kind of keeps me out of trouble there.
Coach, one final question. I know coaches always worry about things they need to work on and get better at, but if you had to say one thing as far as a pleasant surprise with this team so far this year, what is that?
I think our ability to score. We've been over the 100 mark twice this year and hadn't done that in the 24 years I've been here. So our ability to score and score in spurts, and we put up, I think, 36 in the third quarter tonight. We've had a couple other 30-point quarters here and there, and that ability to just explode offensively with different guys. We did that without Shaq on the floor. That's been a pleasant surprise.
Coach, I appreciate you sitting down with us tonight and look forward to watching you guys play hard this year and hope you reach all your goals.
Appreciate it. Thanks very much.